My truck door was still half open when I almost bailed. I stood in the parking lot of Riverside Cafe with the engine off, and my heart pounding like I had just climbed 3 flights of stairs. This was a setup, a joke my buddies created over beers and stupid dares. They bet I would never show up. I should have proved them right. Instead, I was a 34-year-old single dad in a flannel shirt, about to walk into what could be the most embarrassing night of my life. I did not know that the woman inside was about to change everything. If you stay with me till the end of this story, I will tell you how a joke blind date turned into the most important night of my life. The autumn wind smelled like pine and lake water as I finally forced myself to move. My boots crunched on the gravel. Through the cafe windows, I saw warm yellow light, wooden tables, couples leaning close over coffee and shared desserts. It looked like a life that used to be mine and was not anymore. For the past 5 years, my world had been small on purpose. Early mornings on construction sites, sawdust under my fingernails, long days building cabinets and tables, then evenings at a small cabin on the edge of town, homework with my 8-year-old son Mason at the kitchen table, leftover dinner, bed, repeat. It was safe, predictable, no surprises, no risk. My divorce had taught me what happened when I trusted the wrong person. I stopped at the glass door and saw my reflection. Dark hair that needed a trim, tired eyes from too many early mornings, flannel sleeves rolled up, forearms nicked and scarred from years of carpentry. I looked like what I was. A man who had chosen peace and silence over romance and drama. You actually came. The voice came from behind me. I turned and saw my friend Danny Reeves leaning against a lamppost, grinning like an idiot. "Don't look so shocked," I said. My voice had that rough edge it gets after a long day. "You are the one who would not shut up about this for 3 weeks. Man, we honestly thought you would bail." Danny pushed off the post, hands in his pockets. The bet was 50-50. Quote, "There is a bet?" I asked. "There is always a bet." His grin widened. "Look, I know we gave you hell, but honestly, Sarah is the one who set this up. She said, this woman is actually cool and real, not some Danny." My jaw tightened. Is this a real date, or you guys just messing with me? Something in Danny's face shifted. The joke dropped away and he looked almost serious. "It started as a joke. You have been alone so long. We thought you needed a push. But Sarah swears this woman is solid. Says you two might actually hit it off. So I am walking in there and she thinks this is normal?" I asked. "She knows it was a setup," he said. Sarah told her the whole story. That you are a good guy who has not dated since your divorce, and that we are idiots, but we mean well. She still agreed to meet you. That has to count for something. Before I could answer, my phone buzzed. A text from Mason, sent from my mom's house where he was spending the night. "Dad, do not be nervous. Grandma says you look handsome. Love you." The words hit harder than they should have. My kid, 8 years old, was trying to take care of my feelings. I had built my whole life around being steady for him after the chaos of the divorce. And now I was standing outside a cafe, nervous like some teenager. "You good?" Danny asked. "Yeah," I said, sliding my phone back into my pocket. "I am good." "Want me to come in with you?" he joked. "Hold your hand?" "I already know where you live," I said. "I can still go home and change the locks." He laughed and clapped my shoulder. "Her name is Nora. Corner table by the window. And Caleb, try to smile once. You have that whole brooding carpenter thing going on. Might scare her." He walked off into the parking lot and left me alone with my choice. Through the window, I saw the corner table. A woman sat with her back partly toward me, dark hair over her shoulders. She was looking out at the lake, not at her phone, not fidgeting, just sitting there like she was okay being alone. I took a breath, grabbed the door handle, and stepped inside. Warm air and the smell of coffee and fresh bread wrapped around me. Soft acoustic guitar music played over the speakers. A few people glanced up, because in a small town, everybody knows everybody. I ignored them and focused on the corner table. The woman turned as I walked up, and something strange happened. I felt relief. She was not trying too hard. No heavy makeup, no showy dress. Just a simple gray sweater, jeans, and calm brown eyes that looked like they had seen some things and survived them. "Caleb?" she asked. Her voice was lower than I expected. Warm, but careful. "That's me," I said, suddenly very aware that I had forgotten how to be social. "You are Nora?" "I am." A small smile touched her lips. "Sarah warned me you might try to escape through the bathroom window." That made me laugh, an actual real laugh, short and sharp. I thought about it. But in my mind, I put us on the second floor and the drop looked bad. "Smart man. Good risk assessment." She nodded to the chair across from her. "Want to sit? Or should we both run now and admit this is weird?" I sat. "It is definitely weird." Quote, "Sarah told me everything," Nora said, wrapping her hands around a coffee mug like it had been refilled a few times already. "Your friend's setting this up, the bet, all of it. I almost canceled." "Why didn't you?" I asked. She looked out the window for a second and then back at me. "I figured anyone who actually shows up to a blind date that started as a joke is either desperate or brave. Sarah promised me you are not desperate." "So just stubborn and maybe brave," I said. "I have not decided yet." Her smile grew a little. "The waitress came over, that same girl I always saw at the hardware store when I bought supplies. She took my order with a knowing look that told me half the town would hear about this by morning. I ordered coffee and whatever sandwich was ready. Nora ordered the same. When we were alone again, silence settled between us. Not the easy kind I had with Mason in the workshop. A tight, awkward one. I searched for something to say, and everything in my head sounded fake. Nora saved me. "Sarah said you are a carpenter and that you have a son," she said. "Mason," I said, grateful for solid ground. "He is 8. I do custom woodwork mostly. Cabinets, furniture, restoration, whatever pays the bills." "Do you like it?" she asked. The question surprised me. Most people ask how long or where I learned, not if I like it. "Yeah," I said, "I do. Working with wood makes sense to me. You can see what you are building. If something is wrong, you can fix it. It is honest work." She nodded slowly. "I get that. I work in medical records at County Hospital. It is not exciting, but it is steady. After my divorce, steady felt important." The word sat between us. Divorce. There it was. "How long?" I asked. 3 years, she said. "You?" 5, I answered. "Does it get easier?" she asked. I thought about lying, just to make her feel better. But something about her eyes made me tell the truth. "Some days, yes," I said. "Some days, no. I do not miss the marriage. I miss believing that you can build something with someone and trust it will not fall apart." She looked at me like I had said something important. "Yeah," she said softly. "I know that feeling." Our coffee came, giving us a break. I added cream and sugar, more than usual, just to keep my hands busy. Nora drank hers black and stared into the mug. "Can I ask you something?" she said. "Sure." "Why did you actually show up tonight? And please do not say it is just because your friends pushed you. I want the real reason." I put my cup down. "My son texted me before I walked in," I said. "He told me not to be nervous. And I realized I had become this guy who was so focused on being safe and steady for him that I stopped trying new things at all. I stopped taking any risks. I came because being here scared me, and I thought maybe that meant I should do it." She studied me like she was reading more than my words. "My mother lives with me," Nora said finally. "She has early-stage dementia. Most nights I come home and help her remember what day it is, what she ate, what pills she took. Sarah has been trying to get me to date for a year. I kept saying no. I figured, who wants this? A divorced woman in her 30s with a sick mom and a lot of baggage." Quote, "Is that a real question?" I asked. She frowned. "What do you mean?" "From where I sit," I said. "You sound like someone who shows up. That is not baggage. That is character." She blinked, and for a second I saw something raw in her face before she looked away. "You do not know me," she said. "No," I said. "But I know what it is like to build your whole life around someone else's needs. To worry that you are too much and not enough at the same time. So maybe I do not know you yet, but I recognize you." Something in the air between us shifted then. The tight, careful thing started to loosen. She told me about her job at the hospital, about the strange way people's whole life stories live in folders and screens. I told her about a desk I was restoring for the town library and how good it felt to bring something broken back to life. Our sandwiches came. We ate slowly, more interested in the conversation than the food. I heard myself telling her about Mason and all his little stories, the crooked birdhouse, the way he sat on the workshop floor, doing homework while I worked. "You really love being a dad," Nora said. "Best thing that came out of my marriage," I answered. "Only good thing, really." She asked what happened, and I told her. Too young. Wrong reasons. An ex-wife who wanted excitement and ended up finding it was someone she worked with. "That is not on you," Nora said. Her voice went firm. She made that choice. She told me about her ex, about how he made her feel like she was somehow never enough. By the time she finished, I was angry on her behalf. "You are better off without him," I said. "I know," she said, but it took a long time to believe that. We both checked the time and were surprised. 2 hours had passed. "I thought this would be painful," Nora said. "Like a favor to Sarah, I would survive and then forget. But I am still here. And so are you." The cafe had mostly emptied. Outside, the lake was dark and glassy under the moon. "Want to walk?" I asked. "There is a path by the water." "Okay," she said. We paid, split the check even though I tried to argue, and stepped out into the cool night. She hugged her arms around herself against the wind. Without thinking, I took off my jacket and held it out. "I am fine," she said. "You are shivering," I said. "I see everything, remember." "I am always cold," she said. "It is a circulation thing." "Nora," I said, "take the jacket." She looked at me for a long second, then slipped it on. It hung big on her, and something about that did something strange to my chest. We walked along the lake in silence for a while. The water lapped at the shore. Town lights made broken lines on the surface. "When Sarah first told me about you," Nora said, "I looked you up online, found your business page, saw some of your work. You are really good. Those pieces are beautiful." Heat crept into my face. "I did not know I had a social media presence worth stalking," I said. "It was research," she said, "and I noticed every single review mentioned how patient you were, how you listened, how you somehow made what they wanted even better. That says something about you." "That is just the job," I said. "Maybe," she answered, "but not everyone does their job with that much care." We stopped on the path and turned to face each other. We were close enough that I could see the moon reflected in her eyes. The moment stretched, heavy with something I did not want to rush. "I should get home," she said softly. "My mom is with a neighbor, but I do not like to be gone too long." "I get that," I said. We walked back to the parking lot. At her old Honda, we stopped again. "This was nice," she said. "I was not expecting that." "Me neither," I said. "Can I see you again?" She pulled my jacket closer around her. "I want to say yes, but I need to be honest. My life is complicated. Between my mom and work, I do not have a lot of space. I do not want to start something I cannot give time to." "What if we take it slow?" I said without thinking. "No pressure, just coffee again, another walk." "Whatever works. I'm a single dad who works 60 hours a week and has not dated in 5 years. Slow and complicated is life for me." She laughed, a real laugh this time. "Okay," she said. "Yeah, let's try that." Quote. We exchanged numbers, fingers clumsy in the cold. When she went to take off my jacket, I stopped her. "Keep it," I said. "Give it back next time." "Next time," she repeated like she was trying out the words. "I like that." She got in the car and rolled down the window. "Hey, Caleb," she called. "Yeah?" "Thank your friends for being idiots. Seems like they might have done something right." She drove off, and I stood there in the dark parking lot with a strange feeling moving through my chest. It took me a second to name it. Hope. Driving home that night, I did not turn on the radio. The road was dark and empty, trees on both sides like tall shadows. Normally I liked the quiet, but tonight it felt different. My mind kept replaying Nora's smile, the sound of her laugh, the way she had looked wearing my jacket near the lake. I caught myself smiling alone in the truck and shook my head. I was in trouble. When I pulled into my driveway, my cabin looked the same as always. Small, solid, a little worn at the edges. 3 acres of trees around it. A porch light I had wired myself. A workshop built off the back. My safe place. My controlled world. Inside, the silence wrapped around me again. I grabbed a beer from the fridge, but set it down unopened. My hands drifted to the jewelry box I was working on in the shop, fingers running over the smooth surface. Usually the work cleared my head. Tonight it just made me think more. Did it get easier? She had asked. I had told her the half-truth. Some days yes, some days no. The full truth was this. The divorce had broken something in me. Not just my marriage, but my trust and my own judgment. If I had missed the signs with Jenna, what else was I blind to? So I built a life that did not require trusting anyone but myself. And now, out of nowhere, there was Nora Hayes, with her tired eyes and honest voice, sitting across from me and saying things that felt too close to home. My phone buzzed. A message from my mom. Mason wants to know if you had fun. He is pretending he is not waiting for your text, but you know your son. I called instead of writing back. Mom answered on the second ring. Well, she asked, how was it? Quote, it was good, I said. Really good. Good enough to see her again? Yeah, I said quietly. We are going to take it slow. But yeah. There was a small pause, then her voice softened. I am glad, honey. You have been alone a long time. And before you start with the whole I have Mason and that is enough speech, save it. I was not going to, I said. Yes, you were, she replied. Being a good father and having something for yourself are two different things. You deserve both. Her words hit a place I did not like to touch. Thanks, Mom, I said. Get some sleep, she said. And Caleb, do not be so afraid of wanting something that you forget how. After we hung up, I stood in the workshop for a long time, sandpaper in my hand, thoughts drifting back to Nora, the way she had listened, the way she had talked about her mother, the way she had looked at me when I called her responsible instead of broken. I did not sleep much that night. 3 days went by before I heard from her again. 3 days where I checked my phone way more than I want to admit. 3 days where I told myself I had imagined the connection, that maybe she had gone home, thought about it, and decided she did not need my kind of complicated added to her life. Thursday evening, I was in the shop with Mason when it happened. Dad, you messed up, Mason said, pointing to a cabinet door I had just cut. That is 20 inches, not 18. I measured. He was right. I swore under my breath. Good catch, bud, I said. This is why I keep you around. You okay? He asked. His head tilted in that way he had when he was studying me. You have been weird since your date. I have not been weird, I said. Dad, you put orange juice in your coffee yesterday, he said. I laughed. Okay, maybe a little weird. Is it the lady? He asked. Nora? My head snapped up. How do you know her name? Grandma told me, he said. He picked up a piece of scrap wood and traced the grain. She said, Nora is nice. Is she? Yeah, I said. She is. Quote. Before I could say more, my phone buzzed on the workbench. Nora's name lit up the screen. Hey, sorry for the radio silence. Rough couple of days with my mom. Still interested in that slow and complicated thing? Mason saw it before I could pick it up. That is her, right? He said. You should answer. Do not act cool. Girls hate that. Where are you learning this stuff? I asked. YouTube, he said with a shrug. Answer her. I typed back. Definitely still interested. You okay? A few seconds later, her reply came. Define okay. But I could use a friend right now if you are free. Mason was watching my face. She needs you, he said. You should go. I cannot just leave you here alone, I said. Call Grandma, he said, already reaching for the house phone. She will come over. This is important, Dad. Trust me. 20 minutes later, my mom was standing in the kitchen with a casserole she acted like she had just happened to have ready. You look nervous, she said. I am not nervous, I said. You are wearing 2 different boots, she said. I looked down. One brown, one black. I was working, I muttered. She kissed my cheek. Go, she said. We will be fine. and stop overthinking everything. Nora had asked me to meet her at the park near the hospital. By the time I got there, it was fully dark, the walking paths only lit by a few tall lamps. I saw her on a bench near the small pond, still in hospital scrubs, her arms wrapped around herself for warmth. "Hey," I said quietly. She looked up, and even in the dim light I could see how exhausted she was. "You came," she said. "You asked," I answered, sitting down beside her. I left a little space between us, but not much. "Bad day?" "Bad few days," she said. She let out a long breath. "My mom had an episode Tuesday night, got confused. Thought she was back in her childhood home, packed a bag, kept trying to leave. It took 2 hours to calm her down and bring her back to now." "I am sorry," I said. "The worst part is when she realizes what is happening," Nora said. "When she comes back to herself, and you can see in her eyes that she knows she is losing her mind one piece at a time. And I sit there and tell her it is going to be okay. I am so tired of lying." Her voice cracked on that last word. I did not try to fix it. I just moved closer until our shoulders touched and sat with her in the silence. "I almost did not text you," she said after a while. "I thought about just letting this fade out now before it starts. Who wants to sign up for this? Late-night emergencies, complicated family stuff. All of it." "I do," I said. She turned her head and stared at me. "You do not know what you are saying." "Maybe not fully," I said, "but I know what it is like to have your life wrapped around someone else's needs, to feel like you are always one step from drowning. And I know what it means when someone actually reaches out instead of pretending they are fine. You did not have to text me. You did. That matters." She let out a shaky laugh. "You are very calm about all this." "One of us has to be," I said. We sat there as the park got quieter. I told her about Mason and his orange juice coffee comment. She smiled at that, then told me more about her mom. The poems she used to write, the way she would fill notebooks with little stories about strangers, the woman she used to be before the disease. "Do you have help?" I asked. "Or is it all on you?" "There is a daytime aide while I am at work," she said. "Evenings and weekends are me. My sister lives in Colorado. She sends money. Says it is too hard to see mom like this." "That is not fair," I said. "Life is not fair," Nora said. "I learned that a long time ago." She was quiet for a moment, then said, "Why did you really answer my text, Caleb? You could have made an excuse." "Because when my marriage was falling apart," I said slowly, "everyone had advice. No one knew how to just sit with me while it hurt. I needed someone to be present. No fixing, no speeches, just there. You gave me honesty at the cafe. This is me returning the favor." Her eyes shone a little in the low light. "I am not usually this much of a disaster," she said. "You are not a disaster," I said. "You are someone dealing with something hard." "You always this nice?" she asked. "Only to people I like," I said. She smiled at that. "I like you too, Caleb Turner," she said softly, "even though this is probably a terrible idea." "The best things usually are," I said. "We did not kiss. We did not make any big promises sitting on that bench. But when we finally stood up and walked back to our cars, I reached for her hand for a second. She did not pull away. "Would you want to have dinner sometime?" she asked when we reached her car. "Real dinner. Not just coffee and emotional dumping in a park." "I would love that," I said. "It would have to be at my place," she said. "I cannot leave my mom for long, so it will be me cooking something simple, with her probably wandering in and asking who you are more than once." "That sounds like real life," I said. "I am good with that." She searched my face for a moment, then nodded. "Saturday?" "Saturday," I said. On the drive home, I realized something had shifted inside me. I was not just curious anymore. I was invested. And that scared me more than anything had in a long time. Saturday came faster than I wanted. All week, my days were normal on the outside. Work, sawdust, measurements, deliveries. But underneath, everything felt different. There was this hum in my chest, like a low engine always running. Every time my phone buzzed, I hoped it was Nora. We texted a little. Nothing big. A joke about hospital food. A picture of a crooked birdhouse Mason had found in the shed. She sent me a photo of a notebook page with her mom's handwriting, a poem about rain on a kitchen window. It felt strange and good, being led into small corners of her life. By Saturday afternoon, I had changed shirts 3 times. "You look fine," Mason said from my bed, where he was sitting cross-legged with a comic book. "Wear the blue one. Grandma says it makes your eyes less tired." "When did you become a stylist?" I asked. "Internet," he said. At the last minute, I grabbed a simple bunch of flowers from the grocery store. Nothing fancy, just white daisies. They felt like Nora. Quiet, not trying too hard. Her house was on the east side of town. Small, older place, blue siding, white trim, a ramp up to the front door. I parked at the curb and sat there for a second, my hand on the steering wheel. This is more than a date, I thought. This is her real life. Before I could knock, the door opened. Nora stood there in jeans and a soft green sweater, hair pulled back, a slightly panicked look on her face. "Hi," she said. "Come in." Fair warning, it is kind of chaos. "I can handle chaos," I said. Inside, the house felt warm and lived in, family photos everywhere. Nora at different ages, an older couple who had to be her parents. The furniture was a little worn, but you could tell it had been loved. "These are for you," I said, holding out the flowers. Her face softened. "You did not have to do that." "I wanted to," I said. She took them and smelled them. "They are perfect," she said. "Let me put them in water. Then I will introduce you to my mom." We walked toward a bright room at the back of the house, the sunroom. An older woman sat in a rocking chair, a crossword puzzle on her lap, gray hair pulled back, glasses low on her nose. "Mom," Nora said gently, "this is Caleb, the friend I told you about." The woman looked up at me with sharp brown eyes that were so much like Nora's it hurt. "You are the carpenter," she said. "Yes, ma'am," I said. "I am." "Nora said you have a son," she said, 8 years old. "Mason," I said. "He is 8. She nodded. "Good age. Not too little, not too smart-mouthed yet." I smiled. "Depends on the day." "Sit down," she said, pointing at the chair beside her. "Let me look at you proper." I sat. She studied my face with the kind of direct stare that made me feel like she could see more than I wanted to show. "You treat my daughter right?" she asked. "Mom," Nora said, embarrassed. "I will," I said. "I meant it." "Good," she said. "That last husband of hers was a pompous jerk." She frowned, searching for something in her memory. "What was his name again?" "David," Nora said softly. "Yes, that is it," her mother said. "David, big talk, small heart. You are not like him, are you?" "I try not to be," I said. "Then you can stay for dinner," she said. Nora took the flowers to the kitchen. I stayed with her mom. Her name was Eleanor. She showed me her crossword, asked my opinion on a few clues. Sometimes she was sharp and funny. Sometimes she got lost mid-sentence and stared off, like she was listening to something far away. "You are patient," she said at one point, watching me erase a wrong answer for her. "Most men your age are in a hurry." "I work with wood," I said. "Rushing ruins things." Dinner smelled amazing. Lasagna, garlic bread, salad. Nora moved around the kitchen like she had done it 1,000 times. I offered to help. She waved me toward the sunroom. "She gets lonely if she sits alone too long," Nora said quietly. "Stay with her. I am fine in here." So I stayed. "Do you like my daughter?" Eleanor asked me suddenly when Nora had left the room. "Yes," I said without thinking. "Very much." "She works too hard," Eleanor said. "Always has. Even as a girl. Took care of everybody. Forgot to save some of herself for herself." She picked up her pen again, then set it back down. "Promise me something," she said. "Okay," I said. "Do not let her give up her whole life for me in the end. I am already half gone. She is still young. She deserves more than caretaking." I do not know if I have that kind of power, I said. You will, she said. I can see it. She looks at you like maybe there is a future again. I swallowed hard. I will try, I said. That is all I am asking, she said. Dinner was good, better than good. The lasagna was amazing, no matter what Nora had said about not being a great cook. The three of us sat at a small table. Eleanor asked me the same question 3 times in 1 hour. Each time, Nora answered like it was the first. By the 5th time, I answered too. Soft, steady, following Nora's tone. Who are you again? Eleanor asked. I am Caleb, I said. The furniture guy. Your daughter's friend. I am happy to be here. She smiled at me like she was seeing me for the first time all over again. After dinner, Nora took her mom to the living room, settled her in a recliner with a blanket and the TV on low. A classic movie, black and white. Eleanor's eyes went soft as the opening credits rolled. In the kitchen, Nora and I did the dishes together. She washed. I dried. For a few minutes, it felt like we had done this 100 times. Thank you for being so kind with her, Nora said quietly. Some people get uncomfortable, she went on. They do not know what to do when she repeats herself or drifts off. My grandma had Alzheimer's, I said. I remember my mom answering the same question over and over with the same patience. That was love. This is the same. Nora's hand stilled in the water. She told you, didn't she? Nora asked. That she knows what is happening to her. Yeah, I said. She did. Nora's voice shook. It kills me, watching her fight to hold on to herself, knowing I cannot stop it. Tears spilled down her cheeks before she could stop them. She wiped at them with an angry motion. Sorry, she said. This is not how tonight was supposed to go. I was going to be charming and normal and not cry into the sink. I do not need charming, I said. Normal is overrated. Real is better. Quote. She let out a choked laugh. You are getting a lot of real. We finished the dishes in quiet. After, we took coffee out to the small back porch. The yard was dim, but I could see the skeleton of flower beds all around. I used to love gardening, Nora said, looking at the dark shapes. Mom and I would spend all day out here. Now I barely have time to mow. What did you grow? I asked. Roses, she said, a little smile touching her mouth. All kinds. She said a house without flowers was like a day without music. That is a good line, I said. She was a good writer, Nora said. Still is, inside, somewhere. From inside the house came a sudden crash, glass breaking, her mother's voice, sharp and scared. Nora. We both jumped up and rushed in. Eleanor stood in the living room, a broken frame at her feet, shards of glass everywhere. I dropped it, she said, her voice shaking. I wanted to see the picture and I broke it. I ruined everything. Nora went straight to her. Mom, no, she said. It is okay. Don't move. There is glass. Quote. I grabbed a broom and dustpan and started to sweep. The photo itself was face down on the floor. When I picked it up, I saw a younger Nora with her parents, all of them laughing. I held it out to Eleanor. Look, I said. The important part is fine. She took it, her fingers trembling. That is my daughter, she whispered. She was so happy. When did she stop smiling like that? Was that my fault? No, Mom, Nora said, her voice breaking. It was life, I said softly. Life is heavy sometimes. That is not on you. Eleanor stared at the photo a moment longer, then sagged into the recliner. I am tired, she said. I think I want to go to bed. Nora helped her down the hall, talking in a calm voice, going through what was clearly their nightly routine. I finished sweeping the glass and looked around the living room. There were so many photos, so much history on those walls. It hurt to think most of it was slipping away inside that woman's mind. When Nora came back, she looked wiped out. She dropped onto the couch and buried her face in her hands. This is my life, she said quietly. Every night, every weekend. This, or some version of this, and it is only going to get harder. I sat beside her, not too close at first. I am scared, she said. Scared of what is coming, Scared of how bad it will get. Scared it will swallow me, too. I did not give her speeches or promises I could not keep. I just moved closer and pulled her gently against me. She let go. She cried into my shoulder, not the quiet kind, the body-shaking kind that comes when you have been strong too long. I held her and let her. My hand moved slow circles on her back. I did not say it is okay, it was not okay. But I was there. After a while, her breathing evened out. She leaned back, eyes red, hair messy, looking at me like she was embarrassed and relieved at the same time. I do not usually fall apart like this, she said. Maybe you should, I said. Sometimes. She laughed once, weak and real. My therapist says that too. You have a therapist? I asked. Yeah, she said. Started after the divorce. Kept going when Mom got worse. She is the one who pushed me to try dating again. Said isolation is slow death. I like your therapist, I said. She looked at me long and careful. Caleb, she said, this is the worst of me. Tired, overwhelmed, stretched thin. You sure this is what you want to step into? I am sure of one thing, I said. For 5 years I have been safe and alone, and I am tired of safe. I want real, even when it is hard, especially when it is hard. That sounds romantic, she said, and a little stupid. Probably both, I said. She shook her head like she could not believe me, then leaned in. This time, when her shoulder touched mine, she stayed there. I am scared, she said again, softer. So am I answered. We can be scared together. We did not label anything that night. We did not talk about love or the future. But when I left, it was late. Her mother was asleep. The house was quiet. Nora walked me to the door and stood there, hugging her arms around herself. Thank you for tonight, she said. For all of it, not just the good parts. Those were the good parts, I said. The real stuff always is. She hesitated for half a second, then stepped forward and kissed me. It was not long, not dramatic, just warm and honest and careful. When she pulled back, her forehead rested against mine. Slow and complicated, she said. Slow and complicated. I agreed. On the drive home, I realized something important. My life was not just mine anymore. And I did not hate that. The weeks after that night felt like learning a new way to breathe. Nothing huge happened at first. No big speeches. No labels. Just small things. Texts in the morning. Phone calls at night when her mom was finally asleep and Mason was in bed. Quick visits where I brought dinner so she did not have to cook after work. I went over on weekends to fix things around the house. Loose cabinet door. Sticky window. Broken step on the back porch. Sometimes Eleanor would sit nearby and talk to me. Sometimes she thought I was the mailman. Some days she was sharp and funny. Other days she drifted into the past and called Nora by her sister's name. Through all of it, I watched Nora. She still smiled, still made jokes. But under that, I could see the tiredness. The way her shoulders always seemed a little tight, like she was carrying something heavy no one else could see. Mason picked up on it too, even though he had not met her yet. Are you seeing her again? He asked one night while we were working in the shop. Yeah, I said. Pretty often. Do you like her? He asked. I do, I said. He thought about that for a second. Does she like you? I think so, I said. Then, when do I meet her? He asked. You know she is not real until I say she is okay. I laughed. We are taking it slow, I said. Your life already has a lot of change with your mom. I do not want to rush another one in. That makes sense, he said, but I still want to meet her, not someday, soon. Soon showed up as a Saturday at the farmer's market downtown. Nora texted me, Mom is having a good morning. Fresh air might help. Want to meet us there? Bring Mason if you think he is ready. When I told him, he almost dropped his cereal bowl. Really? He said. Today? Yes, I said, if you want. Quote, obviously I want, he said. I need to see if she passes the test. The test? I asked. Yeah, he said. If she talks to me like a real person or like a kid she just has to put up with. At the market entrance, I saw Nora first. Then I saw the wheelchair. Eleanor in it, wrapped in a light jacket, looking at the crowd with a mix of interest and confusion. Nora saw us and waved. Her smile when she looked at Mason was nervous and hopeful at the same time. "This is my son," I said. "Mason, this is Nora." "Hi," he said, shy for once. "It is nice to meet you." "You too," she said. "I have heard a lot about you. Your dad talks about you all the time." He shot me a quick side look, like we would discuss that later. "And this is my mom," Nora said. "Eleanor." Eleanor looked at Mason with those brown eyes. "How old are you?" she asked. "8," he said. "Almost 9. "That is a good age," she said. "Old enough to know things, young enough to still be honest." Mason nodded like that made perfect sense. We walked through the market together. I pushed the wheelchair so Nora could walk beside Mason. He showed her every booth that interested him. The stand with the homemade jam, the man selling tiny wooden toys, the woman who made soap shaped like cupcakes. Nora talked to him like he wanted, not like he was a baby, like he was a person. When we stopped at a craft booth, Mason's eyes locked on a wooden puzzle box. It had strange carvings and hidden lines. "That is so cool," he said. "Look, Dad." I picked it up, felt the weight of it. The price tag said it was more than I had planned to spend that day. "Maybe for your birthday," I said. "I can get it," Nora said quietly, "if it is okay with you." "You do not have to," I said. "I know," she said. "I want to." She crouched next to Mason. "What do you think?" she asked. "Early birthday present from me, but only if you let me help you figure out the secrets." His face lit up. "Yes," he said. "Deal." She bought it over my weak protest. They spent the next 20 minutes trying to find the first hidden compartment together on a nearby bench. Their heads bent close, Nora patient, letting him try things, asking questions instead of giving answers. Eleanor dozed in the chair beside them, her hands folded loosely in her lap. For a minute, everything felt normal, like we were just 4 regular people on a regular Saturday. Then Eleanor woke up and the fear came in fast. "Where am I?" she asked, her voice sharp. "Why am I here? Who are all these people?" Nora was at her side in a second. "We are at the farmer's market, Mom," she said. "We came to get fresh apples, remember?" "I want to go home," Eleanor said. Her hands shook. "Take me home, now." People started to look. I saw Nora's jaw tighten. "Okay," she said. "We will go home. It is fine." She looked at me. "I am sorry," she said. "We have to cut this short." "Do not apologize," I said. "I will get the car." Back at the parking lot, we got Eleanor into the passenger seat. She was still confused but calmer. "I will text you later," Nora said. Her eyes flashed with guilt. "Tell Mason I am sorry." "We are okay," I said. "Go take care of your mom." She drove off. I turned to Mason. He was holding the puzzle box against his chest, watching the car leave. "Is she going to be okay?" he asked. "Yeah," I said. "Her brain just gets mixed up sometimes. It is scary for her. That is why she wanted to go home." He thought about that. "Is Nora okay?" he asked. "She will be," I said. "But it is hard." He nodded slowly. "I like her," he said. "Nora and her mom." "You sure?" I asked. Today got pretty intense. "Yeah," he said. "That is why I like her. She did not run when it got hard. She stayed." Those words stuck with me. A few days later, Nora called. Her voice was tight. "The daytime aide quit," she said. "Just like that. Said it was too much. I do not know what I am supposed to do. I cannot leave Mom alone. I cannot miss work every day." "What time do you go in?" I asked. 8, she said. "Why?" "I will come sit with your mom tomorrow," I said. "Until the agency sends someone or you get home." "Caleb, no," she said. "You have work. I cannot ask you to do that." "You did not ask," I said. "I offered. Let me help." There was a long pause. I could almost hear her pride fighting her exhaustion. "Are you sure?" she asked. "Yeah," I said. "I am sure." The next morning, I dropped Mason at school and went to Nora's house. She met me at the door with her hair half up, half falling, keys in her hand, stress all over her face. "I wrote everything down," she said, handing me a list. "Her meds, her favorite shows, what she usually eats, what to do if she gets upset. "It is okay," I said. "We will be fine." In the kitchen, Eleanor sat at the table working on a crossword. "You are back," she said when she saw me. "The furniture man." "That is me," I said. After Nora left, we settled into a strange rhythm. Crosswords, then old music on the radio, then lunch. Around mid-morning, she got restless. "I should be doing something useful," she said. "I cannot just sit here and rot." "Want to work in the garden?" I asked. "You can tell me what to do." Her eyes brightened. "Yes," she said. "The roses are probably a mess." We went outside. I brought a chair so she could sit while I did the bending and lifting. She told me where to cut, what to pull, when to stop. For a while, she seemed more like the woman in the photos on the walls. "Nora used to help me out here," she said. "Before life got so heavy, we would talk all day. I miss that. I miss her." "She is still here," I said. "I know," she said. "But she carries so much now, she forgets how to just be." She watched me trim a rosebush, then said quietly, "She loves you, you know." My hand slipped. "Who?" I asked. "My daughter," she said. "She will probably take a while to say it. She thinks love means pain now. But I can see it. The way she looks at you, like she is trying to decide if hope is safe." I swallowed hard. "Do you love her?" she asked. "Yes," I said. Saying it out loud felt like stepping off a cliff. "I do." "Good," she said, "because she is going to need you soon." By the time Nora got home that day, the yard looked better than it had in years. Dirt on my jeans, scratches on my hands, roses finally trimmed. "You did all this?" she asked, eyes wide. "We did it," I said. "Your mom supervised." Quote. Nora looked between us. There was a shine in her eyes that had nothing to do with tiredness. That night, after a long talk with me and her therapist and her sister on speakerphone, Nora toured a memory care place the doctor had recommended. I went with her. We walked past bright rooms with pictures on the walls and staff who knew every resident by name. We saw a garden area with raised beds and a group room where people were singing an old song. "It is nice," Nora said in the parking lot after. "Really nice. And it still feels like I am failing." "You are not failing," I said. "You are doing the hardest thing. You are letting go of the part you cannot carry alone." She covered her face with her hands for a second, then dropped them. "I am so tired, Caleb," she said. "I want to be her daughter again, not just her nurse." "Then this might be how you do that," I said. It took a month to make it real. Papers, bed, moving her things. The day we brought Eleanor to the facility, she was confused and scared at first. Then she saw the photos Nora had put up in her room. The garden pictures, the wedding picture from years ago. Young Nora in a cap and gown. "You did all this?" she asked. "Yes, Mom," Nora said. "I wanted it to feel like home." "It does," Eleanor said. She reached for Nora's hand. "You did good." There were hard days after that. Days where Eleanor begged to go home. Days where she forgot Nora completely. But there were good days too. Clear days where she smiled and called me by my name and asked Mason about school. Through it all, Nora started to breathe a little easier. She came to my cabin more. Stayed the night sometimes, helped Mason with homework, cooked with us, fell asleep on my couch with her head on my shoulder while some show played in the background. One night, after we had put Mason to bed, we sat on the porch with coffee. "It does not feel fair," she said, "to get something good in the middle of all this loss." "Maybe that is the only way it works," I said. "Light and dark at the same time." She looked at me for a long time. "I love you," she said. The words were simple, no big pause before, no build-up, just out there. My chest felt too tight for a second. "I love you too," I said, more than I thought I could again. We did not rush the next step, but a few months later, in my living room, in front of the same tree Mason and I decorated every year, I knelt down with a small ring I had saved for and asked her to marry me. Her hands shook when she said yes. Mason yelled, "Finally," and tried to hug both of us at once. We had a small wedding in her mom's facility garden that spring. The roses were blooming. Eleanor had a good day. She held Nora's hand and told her she looked beautiful. She told me to take care of her daughter. I promised I would. A year later, when Eleanor passed in her sleep, Nora's heart broke all over again. I held her through the funeral. Through the nights she woke up, reaching for her phone to check on her mom, and then remembered she could not. We kept going. Together. Now, some nights, I sit on the porch of our cabin while Nora and Mason argue inside about which movie to watch. There is sawdust on the floor of the workshop. There are school papers on the kitchen table. There is a jacket of hers hanging on my chair and a puzzle box on the shelf that Mason still opens sometimes, just to feel the weight of it. I think about that first night outside Riverside Cafe, my truck door half open, my whole body ready to run. If I had left, I would have stayed safe. I also would have stayed alone. Instead, I walked inside, sat down across from a woman in a gray sweater who was as scared as I was, and said yes to Slow and Complicated. Turned out, Slow and Complicated was exactly what I needed, what we both needed.